You ever wish you had the perfect camper, but feel like you're always stuck with some sort of sacrifice? Well, today I'm going to take you to Jeannie's campsite where she took her factory Casita trailer and turned it into something even better. From simple, clever upgrades to big interior changes, her ideas are ones you can easily try on your own trailer. And don't forget to share your favorite mods in the comments because the more we share, the more we learn together. You're going to want to stick around to see why Jeannie owns 3 small camper trailers plus a teardrop just for Obi.
I'm Jeannie from New Mexico, and this is my travel companion, Obi.
Hello.
So this is my 2019, it's a Spirit Deluxe. I got all the bells and whistles on this camper when I purchased it, except for the propane heater. What I did change on this was, this came with white steel wheels. Actually, I got 3 aluminum wheels that had previously in a boat trailer. And I just cleaned them up and had the tires mounted, and they look really nice, I like them.
And how about the suspension? Is that stock?
No, there is a stock Dexter rubber torsion axle under here. It's a 3500. Got the 2-inch lift.
2-inch lift.
And I also added the shock kit on there. So in addition to the rubber torsion, there's shocks on each wheel.
And would you add those shocks if somebody wanted to purchase one of these? Would you suggest that?
I don't really think they're necessary. I think it's a little overkill for me, the way I use my camper. Maybe if you're on worse road conditions than I'm typically on pavement most of the time, a little bit of gravel. I could have lived without them.
Okay.
Some of the things I've changed a little bit on it. One is this little window had previously been a vent for the vent hood that's inside over the stove area, which you'll see later, I suppose. But I put in this porthole instead just to give me a little more light. It literally opens up so that I can vent in or out as well.
Do they all come with AC, as in?
Yeah, this is a deluxe model, and the deluxe comes with the air conditioner included. At least it did when I purchased mine. I'm not sure if things are changing, as far as their pricing goes. I did order the awning, and I'm glad I did because I use it a lot. At the time, and I'm not sure how it works with the Casita now, at the time it was an option. They may be standard now, I'm not sure. But I do use it. It's been a little rainy today, so we've got it out and it works.
So you'd say if somebody was to purchase this?
I'd say go with it.
Yeah.
So this one has, I did go with the AGM battery. I don't have a lithium in here and I don't have a wet battery, so it's a sealed battery. And actually this is 5 years old. I've got the same battery. It maintains charge. I've never drained it out. Works good so far. This is the hot water heater, 6-gallon Suburban. Ta-da! Nothing technical about it, but it is either electric or gas run. This is a solar plug-in. So this is actually a Zamp one. So I've got a 140 watt Zamp suitcase, which I can charge my battery with solar power. These are the gray and black valve drains. This is the outside shower, and I did modify that a little bit. It comes with just a regular hose and a sprayer. I modified it so you can remove the water hose, so you don't have to worry about it freezing in the winter. So it's just a plug-in water hose goes here with an outside shower and of course hot and cold spigots, and it's great. I did add on the front stabilizer jacks, which are nice, a little bit extra. It's not support so much as just to stabilize it so that it stays not bouncy when you're set up. This is 2 propane tanks.
Do you fill that once a season? How much propane do you go through?
I do not use much, but I don't think I'm the typical person. If you run the heater a lot, you're going to go through a lot of propane. I filled the tanks twice in 5 years. I don't use the furnace much.
I had a feeling that's what you'd say.
It's not. To me, the heat is a luxury. And this, I do have the electric tongue jack underneath this cover. And that was on the camper when I bought it. It is an additional $200 or something if you wanted to get the electric, but they come standard with the crank, and the crank is really easy. So just a personal preference. So later I did, since I purchased this camper originally with no furnace, I did go back to the factory and have them install the furnace.
Because you found that a need.
Previous to this, I've had different campers and camped in tents all the way up to teardrops to now this. But it occurs to me I was always working, and I was a fair weather camper. I'd go on the weekends, I'd go in the summertime. once I got to retire, I could camp whenever, wherever I want. So then I said, yeah, maybe that propane furnace is a good idea. So I did put it in, and I've used it a couple times, but I'm not really camping in snow or anything like that. One of the other modifications I did was standard. This came with a frosted glass window, and it also comes with a porch light that you have to be outside to turn on. Don't understand the logic of that, but so what I did was I bought this replacement window, which has, I don't know if you can tell, it's got the black glass, dark glass, and there's also a screen that I can pull up. So I can look out the window and actually see if someone's outside. So I did change out this porch light as well. It didn't make sense to me that you have to be outside to turn it on. And I had installed an inside switch. So if you're knocking on my door, I can turn the light on. I can peek out and see who it is or what it is before I open the door. Also, day one of camping, when I first bought this brand new, cute Opie, saw a chipmunk or something and jumped right through the screen. So I was repairing screen at the campground on day one. And so then I went home and I installed this little homemade dog barrier so he can no longer jump through the screen when he gets excited.
And it looks good too.
It works. But they do sell these Camping World and places like that. But this is like a Home Depot special. Also, what didn't come, but I think it's standard now, is this little screen door bar. So you have something to support the door and to hang on to it to open and close it. Also something really small. Look, this thing used to have to do this, so I just added a little $2 handle on there so I can pull it back and forth without breaking nails or irritating myself. And my addition, I love these things. So just like any other camper that's probably sold in this country, for sure in Canada, they comes along with, equipped with the fire extinguisher. But I did go ahead and purchase some of these fire blankets. Most fires, in campers occur in the kitchen, and this is really easily deployed. And so I like that. Most of this is still factory. It looks pretty much the same as the first time I ever saw it. So this is a 17-foot long by about 6.5 feet wide. And this is a full closet with the hanging bar, and that works fine for me. But that's about it.
And we're probably not going to show us it today, right? Because you got all your stuff hidden in there.
Let me peek. I think this is a shoe organizer. So many folks, I mean, I've seen this on YouTube a million times. Just a single shoe organizer. It hangs up. Plenty of room for hanging things, shirts and raincoats and jackets, such things like that.
And then even on the bottom there, you're storing your hoses and...
Oh, yeah. Things that I don't... Well, water hoses, odds and ends. Also the brackets. What do you call them? They're not brackets. What do you call this thing? I don't use it anymore.
Let's see what you're hiding.
But I always carry it. This is for the stabilizer jacks.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called either.
It's a jack thing.
Yeah.
But I don't use it anymore because I use a drill, which is a lot easier to bring those jacks up and down. An electric drill with the proper bit on the end.
And I would call this a true wardrobe closet. Like that's...
Yes, it is.
That's a big closet. I don't know if I'm capturing it on video here, but I can tell a couple could live out on that for a long weekend, and then full time this would be great for one person.
I just keep this thing packed all the time so I don't have to pack and unpack when I'm going somewhere. So the storage in here, there's storage underneath the benches. This is the small dinette that comes in the Spirit Deluxe. So you get seating for two and a small table. And there's storage under each of these benches. And there's all kinds of things in there now, but you can see that it's pretty good size. Underneath this bench is the wheel well. So you lose a little bit of storage under this one. And there's storage all along the sides. This is where I keep, everybody's different. This is where I keep my canned stuff and some food stuffs. But they're pretty deep. That's probably around 8 inches deep. It does curve, though, with the contour of the top of the trailer. And I did add this cute little cubby. It's got a little hanger. I did add this this USB charger. This did not come standard with the camper. So you can just charge your devices right here. So that was a little bit extra. So here in the kitchen area, you get quite a bit of room. This is that propane furnace. You get a utility drawer or kitchen drawer. Just one drawer though. I wish there were more drawers. I know other people who have a penchant for drawers.
I love drawers.
Yes. And down under the sink is a trash can, things like that. At the very bottom, there is a little cabinet space here, which I just leave the cast iron and the heavy things I don't want rolling around. Not that things are rolling around in here when I'm traveling.
Have you ever, with the bumps, had trouble with these cabinets staying shut?
Never. Never. But when I bought the Casita, they actually gave me extra, these little latches. So I think it might be a common problem. I've never had problems. There's just two that they gave me extra in case one of them breaks, I guess. But I've never had a problem. And this little guy, not to endorse anyone, but these are the folks that did some work on my camper. They put in this window. Oh, let me take this off so you can see this window.
Here is that window.
So this is just a standard port window. It's inside out. And I did add the screen to it. It's kind of a homemade screen. So when I open it, bugs can't come in.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Casita, this used to have a vent hood here. And so I assume you bend over and you bump your head on it.
Yeah.
It gets in the way, and it didn't pull a lot of air, right?
It actually pulled, but it was really loud, and there was a light built into it, which is why I added another light here. There were two wires. So, but there was a light, and it was kind of a yellowy, ineffective light. And it was, of course, that to draw the cooking fumes out. But I found with my port window, I just open that window, turn the overhead fan on, and I can push the fumes out the window that way. So I don't have any problems. Plus this carpeting that they add in here doesn't really retain odors.
How do you feel about the term rat fur?
It's not rat fur, it's polyester carpeting. No rat fur in here. There's rat fur right there. That would be dog. So then this is the main dinette area in a Casita Deluxe. Typically there's two benches, one on each side for seating, and a big table that attaches to the back wall and comes out to about here. So we're single camper travelers usually. So I took out the dinette and I built this little storage section here in the back. I don't store anything heavy because it's on the back side of the axle, so I don't want too much weight back here. But I store, bedding, linens, blankets, things like that. Does give me extra storage.
She made this herself. I mean, look at the quality of this. I can't even tell the difference between the finish on this and the finish up here. And this isn't even composite, right?
No, this is painted plywood, basically.
And then you got these extra...
Actually, the center door or hatch here, let me see what's under there. Okay, I just have some stuff. So this, which I turned into a hatch, right? And added the handles on each. This is the actual piece that would have folded down the original dinette. So the table would have folded down. This piece would have gone in the front. You fold down all the cushions, and this would be a big bed, a full-size bed. So I saved this piece, made a hatch out of it, got a couple of extra pieces from the factory, and you order them and pay for them.
But that's still neat that they'll take a custom order from you.
Yeah. So the custom was I just ordered these pieces, which were designed to be cabinet doors, etc. And I cut them down and routed them to fit my needs here.
Can you show me how this folds down without your coffee pot?
Sure.
I think this is a great use of space.
And this is something that Casita offers too, only they don't have the matching wood. They use some kind of plastic composite as an extension to this counter for the kitchen. So there are, I don't know if you can see that, underneath these brackets. So they just mounted directly to the side wall, so it's out of the way. So if you're sleeping, you don't have to have this counter up.
Yes.
Even if you have the dinette set up, you don't have to have this counter up.
And look at this prep space. It's wanting, and then you put that
it's
out,
pretty teeny.
and that adds quite a bit.
And I do add the things I'm not using. I've got a hot pad, so if I'm cooking, I could literally put hot pots or pans over here to utilize just the two burners.
How about under bed storage? Is it pretty useful? Are you using daily items under there?
What I have is I have a mattress which will serve this 24 by 72-inch bed when it folds down. This little dinette folds into another bed. So underneath here I have that extra mattress which I travel with. If I have company, they'll have a bed. And just things like water, drinking water, things like that, and nothing major.
What's neat about that is you could pull that out if you ever sold this, and the
Oh,
people can get this back to the original bed
this
configuration.
comes out. It is not attached in any permanent way. All I have to do is pick it up. It is a trick to maneuver it to get out of here, okay? But it does.
imagine.
It'll come out of here. And then I've got all the cushions. It'll set right back up to the original factory specs of being this huge dinette or this full-size bed area. So.
And then how about this fridge? Does this come with this Dometic?
It did. I'm not sure what they're putting in there now. I understand this model of Dometic is no longer available, but it's a good sized fridge. It's got a freezer, ice cream bars for later. We're plugged into electric, but it's huge. It's plenty of space, more than I ever need.
That is big.
But
and that's propane and electric?
It's yes, it's either propane, electric, or battery. This is a three-way.
Okay.
And when you buy in this camper, you can have a built-in microwave here, or you can have storage. You might edit this out. I'm not sure what's in there. All kinds of stuff. So I just have some storage in here and a little $30 microwave that I use once in a while, not very often. And the same up here, just extra storage. So there's plenty of storage. Storage goes all the way around. All the cabinets you'll see on the entire perimeter.
And then the feature that people are going to probably choose this camper for is right here. I think that's what many people, I'm going to try to sneak back here.
Look at Abby.
This is kind of what draws many people to this style of camper. What'd you say the height on this is?
That is supposed to be 6'1". I'm not sure.
I believe it. I have shoes on and my hat, and I'm just brushing.
How tall are you? Are you 6 foot?
5'11".
Oh yeah.
So that would be
6'1".
Yep, I believe it.
So you can look in here. I did remove things you don't need to see.
Oh, this is a big bath.
So it's a wet bath. This is the shower, and there's a little sink. The commode, just a flush. I mean, it's a black tank. 13-gallon black tank.
And what would you say the height is in there? I can tell it's lower.
This is angled, so the contour of the trailer starts to come down. I'm 5'8", and I will not quite make it in there. It gets
even for you, there's a little okay.
Yeah, there is a shower curtain that'll come around, so if you're showering in there, you can protect this part of the door. And I did add little window. Rack. You see that little window, yeah?
Yeah, and then she's got room down here to store things, toilet paper, and definitely enough room to shower in here, though. Yeah. You don't have to do a sitting shower.
Yeah, and I've cleaned up cleaned the dog, actually. There's a little storage down here, and I just keep things like extra towels, toilet paper, chemicals for the toilet, things like that.
And then all this up here, that's quite a bit as well. Let's see, why does this lady own 3 trailers? A dog trailer, a Casita, and a bean? So we're definitely kindred spirits. You guys have heard me on the channel talk about there is no such thing as a perfect trailer, and I always need a big 13 to 16, 17-foot trailer and a teardrop in the yard at all time, and you guys think I'm probably crazy. Well, here's a person who's actually doing it. Why do you have this bean trailer and a Casita?
So my Casita is my luxury camper.
Okay.
Look at it. It's got a bathroom, it's got a shower, it's everything a lady wants. But previous to this, I had a teardrop since 2013. Before that, I was a tent camper. So the teardrop really spoiled me. You're in a bed.
Give a shout out. That's a Little Guy 5-wide, right?
Little Guy 5-wide platform. 2013, bought it brand new and still have it. So now I have 3 campers. But I found this bean, and it's kind of like the ultimate, you know.
Right.
It's fiberglass. I love the Casita because it's fiberglass. Very little maintenance on them. I just love them. So when bean, I started seeing them coming out maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But this is that bean stalker that they came out with last year, I think.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to find this one used. I didn't purchase it brand new. But the company does still guarantee the fiberglass.
As a second owner.
Yeah, as a second owner. They have a lifetime guarantee on leaks. So I like the quality of this. It's a little manly man. It's definitely more than I'm probably ever going to use. I've seen videos of these things climbing rocks and doing all kinds of things with you in them,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
crazy things. I'm not doing that, okay? But good for you.
So will you sell the little guy 5 wide eventually?
I might.
But it's that special, right?
I
I
like it.
There's
Like it.
people on our channel who have that trailer and they know they want to upgrade to something different, but they can't let go of it. There's
Well,
just
what I
something
like
about
about
it.
it too, if I get older and I lose my tow vehicle for any reason and I have that little guy, I can pull it with a 4-cylinder. I could pull it with a much smaller vehicle. So I do like that. And thinking ahead, who knows?
Yep, yep. These beans are a little more robust, so they're going to come in. Yours typically comes in at 1600, but this is really outfitted,
This
so
is
we're about
they say it comes in at 2,000,
2000.
but I
Yeah.
haven't weighed it out yet, so I don't know.
So you've been doing a lot of this camping. Anything you'd want to share with people? It doesn't have to do with this trailer or the Casita. Anybody looking at trailers or?
I don't know. Just don't be afraid to do it, Life is short. If you want to do it, do it. Don't wait. Don't say someday. When I first bought my very first camper in 2013, my neighbors and such were saying, "What are you, crazy? You don't need a camper. You're working all the time." I would go out every weekend, and I'm so glad I did. If I hadn't done that, I might not have ended up with 3 campers. But you just don't wait to do it.
I like that advice. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you, Drew.
time. We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
We have 28 videos highlighting other low maintenance fiberglass trailers, plus 22 other videos highlighting campers you can stand in. Links to those playlists in the description. And as usual, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next episode.